Some years ago, I was giving a young friend of mine a ride back to his college. And we spent the ride talking about his life and different struggles he was going through and different things. And then dropped him off and I returned home. And the next day, I had a chance to talk to an older and wiser friend of ours, a mutual friend. And she asked about this young man and said, well, how's he doing? And I said, well, it's not an easy time for him, but I think it's an important time. There's lots of growth happening. And she looked at me very seriously and said, it's never easy and it's always important. And, that really, sort of startled me a little bit, but it really showed me, that can look like a grim sort of statement, it's just always difficult. But really what she was pointing to is that this life is a school. That it's not about, as Master said, this world is not set up for our comfort and ease. It's here for our education and our entertainment. So it's never easy and it's always important. And now we're coming into a time that maybe is a little less easy, but that importance for our own spiritual evolution is heightened. There's great gains to be made in a difficult time. There was actually the story of someone that was doing past life regressions, actually, and taking people back to the point where before this life, just before they incarnated. And it's very interesting that the unifying theme between all these souls was that they were incarnating in this time for the great spiritual gains, that they were coming into this very turbulent time for their own soul evolution. And so the quote I'm talking about here is, a true warrior, though afraid, plunges courageously into battle when the strength of his arm is needed. And that's really what this moment in time is giving us the opportunity to do. Of course, it's not a physical battle in the sense of a soldier on a battlefield, but inwardly, it's the same kind of thing. I've really been reflecting recently how just on a simple phrase, when we're asking someone to have courage, we say, take heart, take heart. And it's about filling the heart with strength, with love, with joy. And I was reflecting with a friend recently that one of the most courageous things we can do in this world is to walk through with an open, loving heart, to walk through the world with an open, loving heart. And it's because the world is always trying the world is always giving us reasons to close down in resentment or in fear and now in isolation. Many people are self-isolating, so it's which is a proactive thing to do in this situation. But it's about finding a way to break down the barriers. Now sometimes a literal barrier, but more the barriers of fear, of resentment, of the hard shell that we can put over our heart, to walk through the world with an open heart. It's said of Swami Kriyananda that he, especially when he was younger, he would actually, the chest, the heart would be the first thing. If you looked at him sideways, the chest would be the thing farthest out in the front, because he was courageous. He had great heart. He would walk through this world with an open and loving heart and taking everyone into that experience of his love. One of the themes that he used a number of times in his music and in his writing was this theme of the nightingale, because the nightingale is this beautiful bird that sings even at night, and perhaps especially at night. And there's the beautiful song from his, beautiful line from his song, the Song of the Nightingale, in fact. Probably the most poignant line is, joy must sing in the night to face change unafraid. Joy must sing in the night, face change unafraid. And this is essentially the key, is that we need to be able to tune into a joy within us, that we can walk through whatever life throws at us, that whatever that night is in our lives, we can find the joy within and walk through in that presence of divine joy. And how do we do this? This is the whole spiritual path. It's about inner communion. It's about tuning into the presence of God within us and living more and more in that presence. And then, like Ramurti was talking about, bringing that out into the world, being an instrument, letting that divine presence flow through you out into the world. And we can do it, as others were saying. Now it's maybe a little harder because of the distance that we have between many of us. But we can do it vibrationally. We can do it through the wonders of technology. We can connect with people and try to give them that experience of the joy, singing through the night to face change unafraid.